Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we will talk about design tokens essential. This video is really important for you. So, we will go to check all of these points together, one by one, and I hope at the end it will be clear for you. Okay, so first, you have to have some values and transfer it to some choices. So what does this mean? For example, here, let's take a look. I have some colors, and these colors, instead of I use these colors directly to my component library items in my design system, I change it to choices. So this color, I give it, for example, okay, this is the primary color, and this is, for example, body color, and so on. Okay. Another example for the sizes of the font. So I have 12 pixels, 16 pixels, 20 pixels, so I give them names. Okay, like font size small, medium, large, something like that. You have to have also a systematic naming. What does this mean? These names should be easy for anyone to understand. So for example, let's talk about the colors. I have a blue color and I have some shades of this blue color. So the normal one, usually we call it 500. This means if I go 600, 700, 800, this means the color will be darker. And if I go 400, 300, this means the color will be lighter. So I can easily take a decision. Okay. Same for the sizes. Some designers also prefer the t-shirt sizes. So I can say small, medium, large, X large. So I know if I wanted to change the size of anything bigger, I just go from large to X large and so on. So to have a system in your naming, this is something really helpful. What else? You have also to define your design tokens decision. So for example, let's take a look here. We have a button. This button have a default and hover. So to define a design token decision here is really important to make you easily control and scale and make your changes in the future very easy. So for example, this button default, I take a decision, I will have only two variables, foreground color and background color. Foreground color for the text. And for hover state, I just have one variable, the background color hover. So what does this mean? This is not good, because maybe in the future I want to control all of this, how the hover button looks like. So this is not good. So to have more choices or more design tokens, that means you can easily control. So let's take a look here of this example. This is a button default, so I added here one more variable, border default, background default, and also I added foreground text default. So maybe I only use foreground default, but what if you will have an icon here in the future? Even if the icon has the same color as a text, it's not good to have foreground default just only, because maybe also in the future you want to control the icon color to be different than the button. Now they have the post color, but maybe in the future you want to change. So it's better to make a lot of choices of your design tokens to can take a decision anytime to update. Okay. Absolutely, the naming here I'm adding, it's not the best practice. In the coming videos we will know actually how we name and a lot of things about the naming. Yeah, I just wanted to make it here very simple for you. So for example, this is not supposed to be like background default. This is supposed to be like button primary default background color, something like that. In the coming video we will learn this how we name. Okay. This is a simple example. Let's say I have a component. This is a normal component as a wireframe. So if I have some choices, some values, I convert it to choices, and I have a systematic naming, and I created many design tokens decisions. So that means I can assign more variables or tokens to my button to can control how it looks like. Absolutely, this is not the best practice, because I just mentioned, yeah, this is not the good names we assign directly to the button, but this is just a small example for you, or a simple example for you to make you understand. So I have a wireframe button, I have some values converted to choices, I create systematic naming, create some tokens, I assign it to my component to see how it looks like. Now I'm taking a decision. Now I'm creating or implementing a design token. Okay. Okay. One of the most important things actually to reuse your tokens as a reference. Let's take a look about this example. I have a primary color, and this is a value for the primary color, but I need also to have some opacity choices. So I have here a primary color 70. This is the variable name. And the value here is a hexacolor. What does this mean? This means if you want to change the primary color from blue to green, for example, that means you have to update these values manually. And this is not good. So let's see what is the meaning of I reuse the tokens as a reference. This is my main variable. As a primary color, I give it this value. If I want to have an opacity version format, so I'll create a different variable called the primary color 70, and instead of to use a different hexacolor, I use this primary color variable as a reference. So the value here will be primary color, for example, 70% opacity. This is the value, for example, if we are using Tokens Studio plugin. By using Figma variables, the value will be different, okay? Until this moment, we don't have opacity feature as a reference inside Figma variables, but maybe, yeah, this coming soon. Okay, same like that. I will give you another example as a tokens to be a reference for gradient. So I have a primary color, this is a value. I have a secondary color, this is a value. So if I want to have a gradient variable, so, and this gradient actually contains primary and secondary, instead of to have a raw value of this hexacolors, so maybe I can reuse the primary color variable and secondary color variable as a reference. Okay. Okay. How to be flexible. And this is really, really important because most of my students have this issue. Once they started to implement the design tokens, they do a big mistake. I will explain to you. Okay. I have a value. I make a choices like blue 500. I take a decision. Okay, I have a variable called the primary color. Yeah. So this is a value for it. So I'm using blue 500 as a reference for this one. So for the bottom background color and heading text color and radioactive color, what I did, I need all of these elements to be blue. So I assign it directly to the primary color. And I pass this to my developers. I hand it over to the developers. So the developer called the button by primary color variable, same for heading, same for all radioactive. So what if we finish the project, development done, and the designer here come and say, okay, what if I want to change some elements colors? So designer talking to the developer and said, I want to change the radio button color to secondary. The developer will be very mad here because he used this radio button in many pages. So let's go here. So now, if I go here for primary color, I change it to, instead of I'm linked to blue 500, I link it to purple 500. What will happen? All of these elements will be changed to blue, but I only need the radioactive. So what I have to do here, for me as a designer, it's okay. I go to master component for the radio button, I update it. But as a development, the developer must go to each radio button in each page and check all the project pages and manually change the value instead of using primary color to be using secondary color. And now we are doing everything manually. We will not saving time, not saving cost, have a headache, a lot of things. And imagine you have a different platforms. So iOS developer have to do that. Same for Android, same for web. So this is not good. So what we have to do here? That means you have to have a new level of tokens. We call this one component specific token. In the coming video, we will know what is this, what is the difference between component specific token and alias and semantic token and option or reference token. Okay, but the solution here to have a new layer. This layer you will hand off to the developer. The developer will call it only one time. So we will never change the radio button to be assigned radioactive color. If you want to take a decision, you as a designer, to change the color for this radioactive, you will not touch this one. We will go here, instead of assign radioactive color to secondary, we will assign it here one time only from one place to primary color. And this means, because the developer is still calling this one and I didn't do any changes for this name, so the value for this will be generated from Figma as a code automatically and will be replaced in our project files automatically. So no any action required from any developer to update because they still calling radioactive color. Same for here, same for here. Okay, I hope this is clear. To be more flexible also, this is one of the tips and the tricks. If you have more than one theme like light mode and dark mode, so you have to use names that can stay consistent across themes. So for example, let's take a look here. So I have a text here. Actually, it's a black in light mode, but it's white in dark mode. So you have to avoid anything here related to theme in your component, specific token, the one you will hand it over to your developers. So don't do like that. Don't make body text color light or body text color dark. Don't do that. Keep it only same naming, body text color. And we have two files of style in our project file as a code. So the value for body text color will be different from light mode and dark mode, but the name you will hand it over to the developer. Keep it consistent across theming. Okay? So that's it for today. See you again. Bye.